Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes.
I say Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
He could just dominate the game on his own.
Terry forward, Lampard delivers with pace! It's in! Frank Lampard might not even have taken a touch.
He was a midfielder that was scoring more than the strikers.
Frank Lampard is, for me, is idol for me. And every game is played good, every game played.
All the ability in the world, had everything. The complete player at age 28, 29 had everything.
Lamps was ruthless in terms of numbers, arriving in the box.
Professional as a player, the best I've ever seen. It's kind of
more of a number 10. He had license to go there because Makelele was behind him.
Frank Lampard, a midfield maestro, a cerebral playmaker whose vision and intelligence defined a generation. Renowned for his uncanny ability to score from impossible angles, he wasn't just a goal scorer. He controlled the rhythm of the game, orchestrating passes and creating moments that became legendary. Teammates and rivals alike spoke of him as a true footballing intellect, a player whose work ethic, consistency and brilliance earned him a place among the greats. Lampard wasn't just part of his era, he shaped it, inspiring a generation of players and fans alike.
All different. Don't really like speaking about myself. Lamps was ruthless in terms of numbers, arriving in the box.
I love Frank Lampard as a player because I love his hunger for goals. He was the best at arriving in the box, his time and his hunger for goals as an attacking midfielder.
numbers.
I think he probably outshines myself and Scholes in terms of that hunger for goals and being obsessed on the thing. If you're talking about someone who can run a game, who you can't get near when he's at his best, control a game, looks silky, great on the eye.
It made me very proud. I left that number 8 in one of the most famous players ever at Chelsea. So it represented that number 8 in an incredible way, which is also special.
Onside, pulls it back, must be here. Hey! Frank Lampard, didn't you just know this was going to happen? The roll starts again.
He was very different in a way that, like I said, he was a midfielder that was scoring more than the strikers. So I think he developed something with his abilities, and he worked a lot in training on that, on the timing, arriving in the box and the shots outside of the box. And even though he was good, he was still looking to improve. I remember like the last year when they were competing for free kicks.
Yeah.
One guy came with the free kick technique. You mentioned Juninho.
Yeah.
DJ starting doing those funny shots. Then Lamps look at him and then started to train like this. And then you see free kicks flying from halfway line and they're scoring.
Frank Lampard, a true goal-scoring legend, a midfielder who could dictate games and find the net like few could. Rivals called him unstoppable, teammates called him inspirational, and fans knew they were watching greatness. Season after season, he hit 20 goals or more, blending intelligence, power, and precision. Lampard wasn't just a player, he was an icon, a timeless force whose legacy in football is spoken about with awe and respect across generations.
Certainly been, a kind of idol and someone I aspired to be in training, around the place, off the field. He was a great character, an absolute hero with the fans, with the players as well, and what he done and how he pushed us as a group, individually and collectively. I've never come across anyone who works as hard as he does on the field to improve his game.
Lampard, we forget what Makelele, all those midfield was doing, because after he just had to go and score the goal. And don't get me wrong, for a midfield end up the season with 20 goals. When you just think about the number,
5 times,
for the number, exactly. So it's just he's a goal scorer and he's a midfield.
Lampard or Gerrard?
Oh my God. Man. Frank Lampard scored 20 goals, all comps, for 6 seasons consecutive.
Mad.
I remember my first day here. I was like a baby. I shake his hand.
No, it was a good memories for me.
Amazing. I mean, apart from being an absolutely fantastic player, when you meet Frank, he's a fantastic person.
Frank Lampard. More than a midfielder, he was a force of nature on the pitch. Intelligent, relentless, and fearless. He read the game like a chess master, always a step ahead. With an eye for goal and a talent for turning the smallest chance into magic, he became the benchmark for his generation. Every run, every strike, every pass was a reminder that Lampard wasn't just playing, he was shaping the story of modern football.
You know, we all know where he came from. You know, I was across from West Ham, you know, a senior Lampard. Yeah, and he got the stick for it, but you know what? He found a club for himself and he was loved. A man that was a professional, that knew his job. He knew where to be, what position to be, what to do, and he did it without complaint.
Listen, Frank Lampard, 22-14 assist season, the amount of goal, the amount of assists, defending, going forward. I think people will call him Mr. Chelsea with John Terry. Some Chelsea fans will debate that one. That's on them. But Frank Lampard, I mean, he could just like dominate the game on his own. With the defending part of the game, the attacking part of the game, the amount of goals, like I said, assists. You know, he won the Champions League, he won the Europa League, he won the whole lot with Chelsea. And from where he was, I remember playing against him at West Ham. And now the stadium was having a go at him that day, because we beat them with Arsenal and the whole stadium was upset with him. And what he became. When you work hard, you get your reward. And that's a great example.
I think that he's going to be a phenomenal manager. It would be very nice for me to say. I'm not going to say that. And I cannot also say I don't believe he's going to do it, because that's not the way I feel. I feel that he has potential. I feel that he loves, which is a very important thing. He loves. That's the reason why he's there. And I wish him the best. But only time can speak, and in a few years we will see.
It's chalk and cheese. Like Lampard works entirely hard. He's brilliant at what he does, but it's his mind and he's running and he's finding his way into the box.
This is Malouda. Why not hit it? That could go anywhere, and it's in. Frank Lampard on the far post. It's a scupper's goal.
As a man and a person, and I'd like to say friend, he was a tremendous guy. He was a leader as well, you know, which is important to us, because it's important to have leaders in the right positions who could.
From that point of view, from a goal scoring point of view, the goals he scored was incredible from midfield, and technically probably not at Stevie's or Scholes' level, but there's no one better. Mentality, yeah. There's no one better than him scoring goals from midfield, and then Scholes, I think just how he adapted. So he was almost a striker, you know, when he was younger, and to then go to a 10 to midfield, and then a deeper midfield dictating the game. I don't think any of the other two could dictate games the way he could. So all world-class players.
Frank Lampard.
Good day, Frank. Professional as a player, the best I've ever seen. It's kind of. What I always saw in Frank was an example of a professional. As a player, I was lucky to have so many untouchables, but he was one of the untouchable players I had in my career. A tremendous professional, tremendous.
Frank Lampard, for me, is idol for me, and every training play good, every game play good. For me, it's new number. Always play number 11, but now number 8, and Frank Lampard, and it's beautiful number, and I think this is good number for me.
Frank Lampard, a midfielder of rare brilliance, a player who combined vision, power and an uncanny sense for the goal. Opponents feared his runs, teammates relied on his intelligence, and every touch on the ball told the story of a true footballing great. Lampard didn't just play the game, he elevated it, leaving a mark that generations will never forget.
He was very, very special in that way. How could the midfielder score? And you know he will score.
Yeah, yeah.
He will score.
That's the
But
crazy
you
thing
can't
about
stop
it.
him.
Yeah.
Like if you stop him one way, he will score another way.
Yeah.
And he was working on his physical ability to do the box to box, but also he was studying the opponents and was finding out the loopholes,
the spaces. Yeah.
And to see it, how like the process, like you say, is very serious. Not like someone who will talk and everything, but he observe and analyze, and then he implements something that he has a strategy. And in terms also of leadership on the pitch, I mean, like the big games that we had.
He genuinely made himself into a player just by practicing and training and running and working, and that desire to be a top player. And that's what he did, and what a player he became.
And what about the manager bit?
Well, yeah, I had no doubts. I mean, Mel Morris, I'll be honest, I got him an interview, I got him the job at Ipswich with Marcus Evans. I phoned Marcus Evans. I said, listen, you need a manager. Frank Lampard's your man. He met him, loved him, offered him the job. Frank said, Harry, they've got no budget, it's difficult.
Why is Lampard better than De Bruyne?
Because anyone that's watched football will know that. Just look at him play the game. One of them captained Chelsea to a European Cup, to win London's first ever European Cup. One of them scored a crucial penalty to make sure that we won that European Cup. Fought tooth and nail when the vast majority of the other leaders in the team, Branislav Ivanovic, John Terry, Raul Ramirez, were all suspended. One man rose to the top, took the captain's armband and won London's first European Cup, going to Germany, going to play Bayern Munich in Munich and lifting it aloft. The other cried.
Slip through, Frank Lampard! Clinical, as we've come to expect.
You know exactly what he meant to me. All the goals, because people are saying, yeah, I scored a lot of goals, but I think he was involved in all of my goals. The partnership with him was incredible.
He's left behind for those coming through the club and those still at the club, is brilliant. The likes of Gianfranco Zola, the legacy they left behind, that people wanted to emulate. I think Frank Lampard has done the same, that people want to emulate. He'll be used by coaches, whether it be first team coaches or youth team coaches, as the benchmark of professionalism, of what you have to do to achieve what he's done.
Lamps, kind of all the ability in the world, had everything. The complete player at age 28, 29 had everything, but wasn't happy with scoring 20 goals a season. As if that's not enough. He wanted to score 30, he wanted to break records and set records. For me, it's about enjoying it. Just go out there, enjoy your football and give it everything. I think if you do that, if you have that mentality in life, I think in general, whether you're a footballer or whatever you're going to do, give it everything.
The unstoppable Frank Lampard, a midfield genius, a goal-scoring machine, and a player whose brilliance defined a generation. Who's your favourite football legend? Drop a comment below and tell us who you want to see in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.